A very good afternoon to you. Welcome on board the red carpet of the book launch of a book titled Insight for Success, as authored by Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Today is the 16th day of October 2021. My name is Tonye Barakumofawi. I do hope that you enjoy every bit of your time you spend with us on this red carpet. Our reports will be here to take every journey with you on this book launch. Do well to stay with us. All right, we've got a very beautiful lady right here, and I'd like her to introduce herself to us. Hello, we'd like to know you. We'd like to know you.
Okay, I'm married Miss Lokpobiri.
So tell us, why are you here today?
I came here because of it's like a son to me, a book launching. Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri.
So what's our expectation for this book launch, and what's our expectation for the book itself?
Our expectation, we still need more grace, more success, more progressive, more books. We need him to be hopper.
Okay.
A lot of expectations.
Have you read any part of this book?
No, not really.
You are yet to read it. Okay, so I'll let you go on that. Thank you very much for being on the red carpet.
Thank you too.
Enjoy your day with us today. All right, I've got this very handsome guy standing right here with me on the red carpet, and then I'll be letting him introduce himself, who he is and why he's here. Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Tell us what your name is and why you're here this beautiful afternoon.
My name is Francis Damini. I'm here to support a friend, support a project that I can as well say I'm part of.
Like the book title goes, Insight for Success. What do you really think about the book?
The book, Insight for Success, I can't say I've read the book before. I am here to also have a copy. But conversing with the author, Insight for Success, I saw the contents. I think it's trying to talk about a perspective of success that we don't really look at. We think that to be successful in society is to amass wealth and a lot of stuff, but I believe the author is trying to bring our attention to the fact that if you do something that pleases you, at the end of the day it affects the other man positively, you are successful.
Okay. For how long have you known the author of this book? For how long have you known the author of this book?
Not very long. I think he contacted me to do something for him. There's a film that's going to be shown. I'm the director of that film. When we did Echoes from the Creeks, he contacted me to come down and also replicate our efforts. So I came on board. So
okay, before you go, what impact do you think this book is going to have on society?
Great impact. When you're doing something different from the norms, different from what is known, it's definitely going to have impact on the society. This is the book we need at this point in time for the youth to read and understand that we don't have to chase after material things, but impact. Impact is what we want.
Oh, shit. Okay. I just, from all that everybody has said about this book, I think that it's a book that each and every one of us should grab a copy. If you're one of those people out there that really wants to be successful in life, I think this is one of the books you should have in your shelf. Thank you very much for coming on the red carpet. Thank you. All right, we're live here at Gabriel Okara Cultural Center. Welcome to the red carpet. And I'm here with the handsome host, the handsome author of the book, Insight for Success. We'd like to know you, sir.
My name is Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri, and today I'm very excited. You understand? Today is my book launch, Insight for Success, and I believe it's a day we are all here to know what success really means. You understand? And as soon as the occasion begin officially, we are going to expatiate on the term success. And I believe I'm one person that is critically aligned to purpose. So for a brief statement on it, Insight for Success is basically telling us that we have an assigned purpose to fulfill, and then we have to fulfill it. And that is to contribute to make the world a better place.
Okay, before you go on this carpet, I want to know, what was your inspiration on writing this book?
My inspiration, I thought about a lot of things, and so many things seemed very, very organized, like the structure of the world itself. Everything fulfills its own purpose. The plant there, you can see it's doing its job. The animals are doing their own job, and human beings, we have to do our job. You know, from the beginning, the man was commanded. You see, you have to develop the world, go to the world and multiply. So that is it. So it inspired me a lot. So I believe if we are not getting that alignment with purpose, then we are going towards the paths of failure, and which no one wants to fail. You know, so I have to rush.
Thank you very much. By the way, you look very good. Thank you. Okay, a very beautiful pinkish lady just came on board the red carpet. I'd like to let her introduce herself. Hello, can we know you?
Okay, my name is Wadiri Trinity Gift. I'm a poet, a performing artist here.
Okay, so tell us, what do you think about the book Insight for Success?
I've actually glanced through the book. It's a very interesting book. Insight for Success, what I got there is, as a human being, if you have something doing, you're already successful. Even though the money is not there yet, you just have to work towards it. And with the success you have inbuilt in you, definitely the income will start coming.
Okay, what do you think? Is this book going to have as much impact as the author desire for it on society?
I believe if 5 persons to 10 persons, it can get an impact to them. It can touch all over the world, because Insight for Success is a very great book. It must not get to everybody, but the few persons that can make use of it is a great reward for me.
Thank you very much, our beautiful poets. We hope to see you do something really good on the stage today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I just got a very tall glass of chocolate standing here with me on the red carpet, all adorned in the Bayelsa attire. So I'm guessing that is a Bayelsan, but I'll let him introduce himself to us. Please, may we know you, sir?
My name is Christian Poripo. I'm a Bayelsan. I'm from Ofoni.
Okay, you're welcome to the red carpet. Have you read this book, Insight for Success?
No, I've not read it, but I've seen it.
Okay, so what do you think about the book?
It's a nice book. It's a nice one. I think the writer has done his best. And he's a young guy, and I know he will do more. Yeah, I know he will do more.
So what do you recommend, being that this is his very first work? Like you said, you're yet to read it.
Yes.
So what do you recommend for people who are going to read it, including you?
Definitely, I know we are expecting more. And he's a student, the writer is a student, and he's of my faculty of Agriculture, University of Africa. I am the faculty officer there. So he's a very good friend of mine. So I know, because I've known him for some time now, and I know he will not do less. So we that have not read the book, I know by the time we read the book, we have a lot to gain. We have a lot to gain, because Justice as a person is a great guy, and I know he will not disappoint us.
Thank you very much for being on the red carpet. You can make your way in today. Thank you. Okay, I think it's the time for the men right now, and I've got another really handsome guy standing right here with me on the red carpet, but I'd like to let him introduce himself to us. Hello, can we know you?
I'm Dr. Omega Emmanuel of the Department of Biological Science, University of Africa, Torua.
Okay, I think it's a Torua thing today, so tell us what you know about the book Insight for Success and the author.
The author is one of our very good students, and one of the reasons why my dean, the person of Professor Sikoki, asked me to come and represent him here. Knowing the importance of a book like that, everybody wants to succeed, and for we having one of our own, writing something about success, yeah, it's something that we like to support.
Okay, so how much impact do you think this book is going to have on society?
Really, you have to read it to really know the impact it's going to make. But from the little I've read of the book, yes, I am confident that if we walk by the precepts, the principles in the book, yeah, success, of course.
Thank you very much for being on the red carpet. Do make your way inside. Thank you very much. Have a very interesting day. Okay, we're still here on the red carpet, and we're still going to be hosting other people that will be coming to for this book launch. The book Insight for Success is written by Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Do well to stay tuned.
Thank you very much. Okay, so at this point in time, permit me now to allow us to have opening remarks from no other person than the Professor Kingston Yamafene Chairman, who is the VC of the University of Africa, Tararua. Please, as I go to hand him the microphone, if your hands are not too busy, please slam those hands like they were speakers.
Our young distinguished author, Justice, my colleagues here from University of Africa, and colleagues joining us from NDU and from other institutions, is that I am kind of a man of few words. When I go to attend an event, I really don't like long speeches, so I'm going to try and also keep mine as brief as possible. However, given the nature of the occasion, I do have a number of things to say and some observations to make. First of all, let me acknowledge with pleasure the level of support that Justice is receiving from some of his fellow students, members of staff, and friends. It's good to see the level of support. Some of you have had to come all the way from Tararua and others from other places outside Yanagua, so we appreciate that. To Justice, I think it's no accident that the title of his book talks about not only success, but also the word insights, because those two words are so characteristic of the person that I've come to know as Justice. At his age, he's shown a great deal of wisdom, signs of good leadership, selflessness. This is how I actually came to know him. He was taking on a leadership role, addressing an issue that affected so many students. And it was only right at the end that I discovered that although he was taking on this issue on behalf of his fellow students, he himself was only affected in a very minor way. It's not often that you see that kind of selflessness, and it's a quality to be admired, particularly coming from a young person like him. Read through, I think, is a testimony to the kind of thinking that one wants to see amongst those young people we are putting through our university system. He shares with all of us and those who are going to be reading the book later, these ideas which are born out of real experience, and I think a considerable amount of research and some observations about life around us. So I want to commend him and congratulate him on successfully producing a piece of work that is a showpiece with regard to the characteristics I've just mentioned. And I'm quite certain that once you've read it, you're going to find it worthy of recommendation to other people. So, with those remarks, Justice, where is he? Congratulations.
And of course, a very big round of applause for that. A round of applause for that information. Okay, so DJ, please scoop some music. For the book presentations. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to present to you the reason why we're gathered here this beautiful afternoon. The launch of a book titled Insight for Success, Exploring the Power of Inspired Works. This book is authored by Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri, the rights of Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri to be identified as the author of Insights for Success has been asserted by him following the Copyright Design and Patent Act 1988, all rights reserved under international copyright law. No part of this book may be produced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanically, including photocopy, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system without the permission of the author. This book may not be resold, hired out, or otherwise disposed of by way of trade in any form of binding or cover than that in which it is published without the prior consent of the author. While care is taken in selecting authors who are authoritative in this subject, it is emphasized that their books can reflect their knowledge only up to the time of writing. Information can supersede, and printer's error can creep in. This book is sold, therefore, on condition that neither author or publisher can be held legally responsible for the consequences of any error or omission there may be. Printed and bound in the Federal Republic of Nigeria by Black Tar Publishers, it was published in the year 2021 in Nigeria, West Africa. Authored by Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri, forwarded by Elizabeth Thomas, an educator in Salt Lake City, Utah, United States of America, currently an English instructor in Birmingham Young University, Idaho, United States of America, with International Standard Book Number 978 978 994 0790. It is available on the following platforms: print copies, Amazon Kindle, and Okada Books. You can access this book on www.autogel.com. For usage permission, contact the author on justicelokpobiri@gmail.com or on the phone number 0906 459 5554. For WhatsApp and Telegram, the number for you to reach him is 0903 033 1314. Please note, Insights for Success is a copyright product of Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri, the author, who has complete creative control over the book. Thank you.
Person then, Isaac Fluid, the computer to some good feel of what music can be. And my deal, Isaac says he is successful because he does that and makes society happy, and that alone can qualify for success in some arguments. Introducing Isaac Fluid.
siblings relocated with him. Now, the primary school I attended, I was the only student paying school fees. And when I asked my teacher about it, she would smile and tell me how precious I am. Now, my mom sends BK close to the market square. My siblings and I, we go to normally disturb our sales. And she has troops of customers. But that evening was different. But the evening continued. As my mom was selling, she heard a noise. And if you have stayed in Kaduna State, you know the Islamic religion. Then came the Islamic Crusaders with just the word in their mouths. So I held my siblings, kneel bent. I didn't know the words of prayer to come, but my hopes were high. And then we heard a scream. I knew it was my mother's voice, but I didn't know what to do. I was just barely 8 years old. I could feel my heart out of my mouth. And then there was the shattering of the door. And there was my mother. I can still remember how the blood was gushing out of her vein, and she was screaming in pain, not knowing what to do. My father struggling with death. I had my siblings, and out of my hands, each of them taken out of me. They were killed before my eyes. I was just very 8 years old. They shut my eyes. But there was a familiar voice. I heard a familiar voice, but I was too scared to open my eyes. It was Adamu, my classmate. He normally eats my eraser. When I complain, my teacher does nothing about it. It was him. But in my little house, I folded. And then one by one, they left my house. It was broken. My parents. I remember it was just a nightmare. Thank you.
Right? Yeah. See, you actually caught some very sensitive chords being struck by that performance. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to be introducing the author to the whole world, right? So to do that, I want to also identify the fact that the author happens to be a student, not just a student, but a student of 2 universities. It's not easy. So please, if you know you are his classmate, course mate, begin to look where he is, and please follow.
And has obtained his first professional certificate in agribusiness with Brigham Young University, Idaho. He is also a student at University of Africa, Turuwasabama, Bayelsa State, Nigeria, in the Faculty of Agriculture, Department of Agri-Economics and Extension Service, a senior. Great Nigerian student! Great UAT student! Enjoys speaking, public speaking, writing, and engaging in productive discussions and arguments to obtain a broader perspective about the views of life. He is a critical thinker. The first time I met Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri, Gerald, in short form. It was actually a mind-blowing experience. Ever since we have been having a life-changing experience one to the other, I have been having a life-changing experience. He has been educating me, motivating me, supporting me, morally and emotionally. Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri is a very good man. He has done a lot, and that is why we need to have people like him in our society, who supports people. Whenever he sees me, he's like, yo, you are going to be great. You have to work with yourself. The two of us have things to do. We definitely have things to do to make this work. He's a society changer. He's a problem solver. That is who he is. You see, this life is very phenomenal, extremely phenomenal. It could be and will be if we actually dig deep to know the secrets of the world, of this life. And that is what Gerald is actually doing now. That is what he's actually doing by creating this book, by penning his thoughts. These thoughts are God-given thoughts.
Actually become a beautiful place, truly. And that is why I would like to sing the song. I'm sorry. I'd like to sing the song, just a short one, not too long. It's titled A Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. I pray you like it.
What a wonderful world. Hey, I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Here, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? And they're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry and watch them grow. They will know much more than we'll ever know. But we think to ourselves, we should think to ourselves, that is truly a wonderful world. Thank you very much.
Oh my.
We're not wasting much time.
Okay.
Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Please, a round of applause.
A big round of applause. The author himself, Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri.
Frida, I think we need to talk later. So, first I would like to say thank you to each and everyone here. Each and everyone. I looked at the world and I saw that it's very beautiful. And everything has been positioned to carry out their responsibilities. And it's amazing. The plants that is made to grow by God Almighty, the animals, and human beings, we have our responsibilities as well. And I thought of it, okay, what is our responsibility? It is our responsibility to make the world a better place. This is most important to the existence of mankind. So I thought about the subject matter, success. I said, what does success mean? Because I want to be a successful person, I want to succeed. And you know, there is a widespread perspective about the term, because a lot of people tend to be extremely wealthy, and not that being extremely wealthy is bad at all. But on that note, people stand firm and say, yes, I'm successful, but the question is, have you made your contribution and your impact to develop society and to make the world a better place?
And I said to myself, if this is not what I have done, I have no business claiming to be a successful person. So I thought critically about the subject matter and said, look, we have to engage in activity that aids the development of society. You understand? We have to keep the world beautiful. Before we go to these premises, we transit to our various locations through the means of vehicles. The planes are flying all over. This building is very beautiful and everything. Things are so nice because people thought about it. Now let us look for a way to solve problems. And that is why the automobiles were created to help us to transit. It has solved the problem of transition. Now, in a quicker pace than walking, we are able to get to our various destinations. I could pick up my phone and communicate with someone over in the US. This was a problem initially, but because someone thought about it, how do I keep the world beautiful? How do I contribute? How do I succeed? People came up with the telephone devices, the internet service, and everything that we enjoy. I believe each and every one of us that is seated here and some person standing, that is seated and those standing are not excluded. We are all successful persons. So long as we can find that alignment with purpose, and it is similar for every one of us. I mean, purpose is similar. We can engage in various activities. You can be a banker, a politician, you can be a student, with the aim of I want to obtain knowledge and channel my knowledge to contribute to make society a better place. So each and every one of us here have been assigned with that purpose to succeed. Yes, we are all, nobody is meant to fail at all. We are all meant to succeed. But then there is a requirement. And that requirement is to identify a problem. When I took courses with my HOD, he inspired me a lot, Dr. Onoche Kanayo. He always made that emphasis on problem solving. He said, look, I'm teaching you because I want you to be problem solvers. So we don't have to bother ourselves with a lot of theoretical aspect of things, but let's think about the problem of now that we can solve so that evolution and revolution will continue and the world stays beautiful and continue to develop. I see no reason why there should be problems. No reason why there should be terrorist activities. No reason why there should be criminal activities. Because if everybody is positioned to solve problems, the world is going to be a beautiful place just as we want it to be. And this is all what we all want. Is that not? Please, I want a response. This is all what we all want. Yes, we are going to find wealth, riches, as much as we desire. People have been solving problems, and these things tend to be the proceeds of the problems that they solve. Now, someone created the chairs that we are all seated upon. And as a result of this, count the numbers and think about how much this person has made in his pocket. Fine. I have written a book for the aim of sending out the perspective about success. But I believe it's on purchase and someone has to buy and I have to get the proceeds of it, which is money for my comfort. But the major purpose is to ensure that the perspective about success is so that the world will be a better place. It is beautiful to see each and every one of us here. Today is a day that God has made. And I believe God never fails. He assigns us with a responsibility, and it is our responsibility to ensure we do what He has assigned us to do. God never fails. The challenges would come. I faced a lot of challenges. But I haven't found the challenges that has ever displaced me, because I serve a God that is bigger than every challenge. You understand? So when they come, I look at it, and most times I smile, sometimes this challenge is going to pass by, because I would fulfill that purpose, and that purpose is to ensure that I contribute to make the world a better place. I might be a writer, I can engage in other activities, and I will do so because I want to observe that there is a problem, and I want to solve that problem. So I might not stick to writing alone. I can go into various fields. Now, for someone to be a doctor, he identifies I need to save lives. For someone to be a scientist, I need to create things that would make things easier for mankind. For someone to be whatsoever engagement that we want to find ourselves in, it is because we want to contribute to make the world a better place. Thank you very much.
A big round of applause for the author. Now you've met him, right? Yeah, he's such a very nice person, clearly. We've been hearing quite a couple of very good things about him from the lady who spoke earlier on. And now, we live in a balanced world, right? Yeah, ladies before gentlemen. I want to quickly introduce one person, that MC Champ, a friend, a loyalist, a brother, a bandman, a kinsman, or Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Please a round of applause for him as he comes says very wee words about his friend.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I want to recognize the presence of all the dignitaries that are here. May God bless you richly in Jesus' name. Also to the foundation of justice. Daddy, I celebrate you, sir. Yes, indeed, I don't want to talk much. Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri is not just a friend, but he's an hustler. See, we are going to hustle this country together. See, leadership, we go take them from Ghana, we go take them from Nigeria. Talent, no go waste for this country. Now, so you just please let's celebrate it once more. It's not easy. When he told me about this project, I was seeing it like it won't go anywhere. But the very day he started this writing, I was pleased with it. And there are a lot of lectures. There are a lot of meaningful lectures that will touch lives. See, let this life thing not be in vain. I don't want to talk much about his personality because he's a star to the world. Daddy, please support him. You see, justice is your pride. Yes, that's why I came. I want to talk to the audience. You see this book? It should not be under our pillow. Let's celebrate this book. Take it around the whole world. Make them know say now from the University of Africa. Like this one come from. Please celebrate University of Africa for me. Then, still at my school, we have them plenty. There are plenty for the school. Oga Chaplain, respect to you, sir. The talents, there are many. There are not the only book writes, there are plenty. To the school, please help us discover them. Promote them anyhow you can. Give the best to the world so that people will know University of Africa Torua is existing. And in everything you are doing, please recognize this man Lokpobiri Justice because he will make you proud. Please celebrate him again. Thank you very much.
A big round of applause. Thank you very much for all the remarks of gotten here. The glowing young man, Ebiks Justice Lokpobiri, the beautiful pair of persons who came out here with him. Beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I can see a smashing looking young man like your brown shoes and your belt. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause as they go back to the seat while the DJ blesses us with an amazing song.
Lokpobiri's immediate family, my colleagues from the University of Africa, greatest Uni-Africa students. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to stand here this afternoon as the reviewer of this book, as guest speaker, and as the representative of Professor John Fukuma Afedokia, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Africa. I will first do something in the name of my Dean, and then I proceed to review the book, and then I say a few things as a guest speaker. Myself, and see that people whom I teach get better than I am. I've identified 2 students so far. Lokpobiri is one of them. When I teach agricultural economics, I try to make my students see that it is only through quantitative analysis that we'll be able to solve problems. In a matter of weeks from now, I will be introducing them to econometric analysis. But Justice Lokpobiri has gone far into analysis. He's at present a student of a university in America, and I peeped through what he has been studying. He appears to be a master of Excel. A student who can master Excel would have found strong footing in econometric analysis. Please put your hands together. In the name of the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, I present this joke. Justice is a beautiful boy. Do you use the adjective beautiful to qualify? Or is it described now? A boy? Do you do that? You better permit it because it's beautiful. You all have said it here today that Justice is a beautiful boy. I congratulate you. So in the name of Jolokia, as a young star, I set out to marry. I'm from Ekeremo, all right? I'm related to the Lokpobiri family. So Justice is my younger brother. So I set out from Ekeremo to look for a wife. My daddy told me to look for a beautiful girl. My grandpa called me aside and said, no, my daddy emphasized character over beauty. So daddy asked me to marry a girl with good contents of character. My grandpa called me behind and said, come. It is not just good character. You can find a lady who has good content of character and who is also beautiful. Go and look for a beautiful girl who is also a person of good character. So I set out in search of a beautiful girl. And my search took me to Warri. So I found this girl. And I brought her home. As we came home, she was still a girlfriend. So we came home. And as she cited my father, I expected the good girl to meet her and greet the father-in-law to be. This girl rushed my father. Bros, how far? And then went into the house to meet my grandpa and say, "I'll waiting day." By this time, I'm already thinking. So by the time she left, I traveled back to Abuja and invited her over to Abuja. And we took a stroll on Saturday towards Jabi Lake. As we were strolling around, we met popcorn joint. So I asked my girl, "Sweetheart, do you mind popcorn?" She said yes. So I bought only one cone of popcorn and I was eating it alone. We moved further and saw ice cream. I wanted to make the question easy for her to understand. So I said, "Baby, do you care for popcorn?" She thought that no, was the answer to? If she said no to my question, then she will get it right. Then she said no. I said mind, she said yes. I said careful, she said no. So I got just one cone of ice cream and I lost along. Then we got to a suya point. You know, girls and suya have one kind of understanding, eh? So I asked her in simple English, baby, will you eat suya? And she looked me up. She looked me up. Bros, I didn't look you see so. You asked about popcorn. I said no, you chop it. You asked about ice cream. I said no, you chop it. Now you don't see suya, you want to use another style. This year, when they see so, whether I like, I mean, I mind, now me and you go chop them today. Put your hands together, convey the theme of agriculture. Now let's go to reviewing the book. The book is titled Insight for Success, Exploring the Power of Inspired Words. It's written by Justice Lokpobiri. It's composed of 18 pages, carefully segregated into, 78 pages, carefully segregated into 18 easy to read sections or chapters. The book meets a need, and that need may be the paradigm shift that we need today. Before I talk about that, let me try to review the book. The title of the book is, to me, a little bit ambiguous. When we define success, what are we talking about? For me, success may be money. For somebody else, success may be the number of houses that he has. For somebody else, success may be a good CGPA. For somebody else, success may be the number of the wives that they have. As ambiguous as the title looks, Mr. Lokpobiri does justice to the title in his opening remarks when he stated that his definition of success is how able one is to make impacts on the world. So in that light, we will accept the title as it stands. The section 1 deals with his perspective of success. That is the place where he defines what success is all about. The second section is titled Possible Steps or Ways to Succeed. Author here admonishes readers to follow procedures in order to succeed. Author, however, failed to avail us of some of the steps that we need to take in order to succeed. The procedures are not defined. Anyone reading this chapter expects to find the possible steps that he needs to take to succeed. In chapter number 3, author teaches us to realize our purpose for existence. He projects his view of purpose for one's existence as being basically to save the world, and identifies passion as a way to understanding one's purpose. But could there be any other reason for one's existence aside saving the world? Did we all come into the world to save the world? Could there also be another means of realizing our potentials aside passion? In chapter number 4, author teaches us to identify our potentials. Author demonstrates diligence in the identification of potentials and argues that talents and proficiencies, as well as aptitude, indicate one's potential. Author challenges us to identify them so that we can make impact. He advises that abilities are diverse and come in different measures and forms. Section number 5, author says for us to believe in ourselves. Here, author relates that self-confidence is a powerful tool for the achievement of seemingly impossible things. A confident mind, according to him, is able to overcome fears and sees no impossibility. Author is widely read and teach and draws lessons from the life and the persevering abilities of Thomas Alva Edison in perseverance. Section number 6. Author teaches us to identify the problems facing society. Author advises us to think more of how we can identify societal problems and create solutions. Author, however, did not hint at the possible steps to identifying problems or preferring solutions. He didn't teach us what constitutes societal problems. He didn't tell us what problems are to be solved by men as individuals and what problems need to be solved by men in government. In chapter number 7, author tells us to be determined to be problem solvers. Author preaches determination and stubbornness in the face of opposition. And I see author demonstrating that in his own personal life. In chapter number 8, author teaches us to stay focused. He quotes from the Bible and admonishes readers to avoid distraction. If Jesus had not avoided and shunned distraction, he would not have been able to impart his word. Author, however, did not mention what might constitute a distraction and how to identify what distractions are, or whatever distractions come our way. So I ask, how do we stay focused in the face of so many issues requiring our attention? Do we not need to create a timetable? Do we need individual retreats? Section number 9 author teaches us to utilize opportunity. Here we are told not to discriminate opportunities, but to accept them and utilize them in whatever form they come. Author cites examples of men who rose to stardom irrespective of their poor backgrounds because they decided to embrace opportunities. Author draws example from the life of our amiable former president, gentleman President Jonathan Goodluck. In section number 10, author tells us to build healthy relationships. Here we find the author doing justice as a guide to building and keeping healthy relationships. Author demonstrates the need for healthy relationships and enumerates practical steps that we could take to engage in such relationships. Some of these steps are the choice of whom you choose to relate to. Number 2, understanding one another. 3, respecting one another. And 4, motivating one another. Section number 11, author tells us to create and pursue our goals. Author advises the need to create specific goals and detail the steps to achieving them. Author admonishes us to stay focused. Chapter number 12, author advises us to be patient. He tells us to wait and follow procedures and not to cut corners. Section number 13, the author asks us to seek superior knowledge. Author argues here that God is in charge of the universe and is above everybody because God, has superior knowledge over everybody. And so he admonishes us that we need to reinforce the need to acquire greater knowledge so as to be more impactful in our world. Section number 14, author tells us to learn how to improve with the experience of failure. He tells us that in the bid to get a vaccine for COVID-19, people who started out had some issues with developing the vaccine. Author tells us that it took a number of times for Thomas Alva Edison to make the electric bulb as we have it today. Author tells us to improve ourselves by drawing lessons from
from our experience, especially when we fail. The canvas is that failure is not an end, but a means to a better end. Chapter number 15 also asks us to cultivate healthy habits. Also identifies the contents of a good character to include honesty, kindness, optimism, and praise. He urges us to invite them. How to invite them, author did not tell us. Chapter number 16. Do not neglect any form of responsibility. Author informs us that no irresponsible person can be successful. I will say this 1,000,001 times, that no irresponsible person can be successful. He admonishes his readers to take responsibility, no matter how difficult these responsibilities might present. Chapter number 17, he asks us to always seek God's guidance in whatever we do. Author cautions us to stay in God, because if we stay outside Him, we derail. And taking the personal lesson from Solomon of the Bible, he advises readers to always seek God's leadership in everything that they do. Chapter number 18, the last. Author, in his final thoughts, in his closing, presents his bird's eye view of the world, of a world that is devoid of rancor. A just world for everybody to live, and urges all to be determined in order to bring the world into a harmonious order. Now, these are my thoughts as a guest speaker. Author appears to be a widely read person. He quotes from a number of writers. Author also appears to be deeply biblical. Now, in the world as we have it today, we have people seeking one form of success or the other. People seeking one form of prosperity or the other. But as we seek prosperity and success as human beings, Author advises that we are first humans, and therefore whatever success and prosperity that we seek should be geared towards making humanity a better place. But there are questions that the society must answer. As a teacher, do I put making so much money ahead of impacting knowledge? If I begin to do that, I will fail in my duty as a teacher. As a doctor, do I put so much emphasis on trying to make more money than I should at a point in time? If I do that, I will begin to treat patients in public hospitals haphazardly. As somebody who is entrusted with public funds, if I care more about making so much money, I may end up messing up public funds. Here we find a young man. At this stage, young people like him should be into one form of vice or the other. Young boys like him should be into Yahoo. Should be following politicians up and down to make so much money. But Justice Lokpobiri has answered a question with his book. That question is, where is the world headed to? And how can we save the world from the precipice that the world seems to be heading towards? Author shifts our mindsets. It tries to transform the minds of youngsters by shifting mindsets away from personal gains to societal advancement. And this is where I congratulate the author. Author has answered a peculiar question using this book and aligned himself with those few fellows that sees success by an individual as having made positive impacts in the world. I congratulate the author, I congratulate his family, I congratulate the Lokpobiri family, I congratulate Ekeremo, I congratulate Bios, I congratulate the South, I congratulate Nigeria, I congratulate West Africa, I congratulate Africa, I congratulate the Northern Hemisphere, and I congratulate the whole world for the gift of this moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being pertinent and realizable. We will only identify problems and seek to provide solutions creatively to same. That being said, I would now quickly call on our second reviewer, who is the other person than Associate Professor Phillips Okodo, PhD, who is also the Director. He comes up the stage.
Chairman, sir, and the Vice Chancellor, University of Africa, Aurora, my community. All protocols to be respectively observed. I am quite elated in that before Bayelsa State was established, I have to use the term establishment. It was about good in some literature. It is only God that creates. In other words, the geographic expression that now qualifies to mean Bayelsa was already in existence. And therefore, I like to usually attribute the establishment of Bayelsa to be established rather than creation. Having said that, I haven't met justice, or put differently, I would rather, okay, at the end, address me as Ebiks Justice Lokpobiri. But for the purpose of this work here, Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. I've never met him before. I've not seen him before. We haven't met before. I met him for the first time here in this hall. Now, how do I come into the picture of review of this book? I think that the dean of my faculty of social sciences, Niger Delta University, last month drew my attention to the fact that there's going to be this program here, and because he is the pastor of Justice Lokpobiri, you can see that spoken words, or words generally, that as a penalized in justice, particularly drawing inferences from even his pastor, who is my dean, may have even occasioned justice to also think deeper. And the output of that thinking process is what is unveiled. And what am I saying therefore is that, or what I'm saying therefore, is that my attention was actually drawn by my dean, Professor Jonan Akekere, and he handed to me a copy of this book and holding it with the file on my table, and a letter addressed to him to do the business about to do. And I said, gladly, because before Bayelsa was even established, as I said, myself and one English James, many of you may have heard about it. We have already articulated about Bayelsa Youth Federation. And that was also the movement that we used in galvanizing support from other sister unions or different organizations. That we went to Kayama to put the Kayama in what is now articulated as the Kayama Declaration. So from that point, as the public relations officer of Bayelsa Youth Federation then, I want to say that one young man who is a youth in Bayelsa had done us proud. And to that extent, I accepted, in spite of the fact that I have other very competing demands, programs to attend within this same period. But I have been here because usually I don't go to my classes from say 2006. And therefore I was in this hall from about 11:34. Now let me go straight to the business. The title of the book, again, I'm not going to bore you so much, given that my colleague has also done a very wonderful job. I'm going to take an panoramic view so that we can just round up quite in time. And because I know that the VC is also, our VC is also insights for success, exploring the power of inspired words. Indeed, my colleague has said that the job or the title of the work is not that perhaps appropriate. But I haven't read through the work. I want to differ a little bit to the point that the title for me is largely appropriate. Now, the book, as he said before, has 78 pages and 18 chapters. Now, let me go straight to the review. The book Insights for Success, exploring the power of inspired words, in its 18 chapters and 78 pages, has expressively captured a vital way to approach and acquire success. The author in chapter 1, 2, 7, 8, and 11. Remember that I said that I'm going to take a panoramic view. In chapter 1, 2, 7, 8, and 11 are self-rated. Impressive. That what I mean by self-rated, meaning that, okay, let me not bore you. As a self-rated, okay, impressively, being successful means the achievement of desired visions and planned goals. That is correct. He also further in chapter 9, 12 to 17, stated that success is a certain social status that describes a prosperous person that could also have gained fame for its favorable outcome or outcomes as it may be. Given that the expression that being a failure or successful is a function of the information through words received. Now, it is true. Remember, I recall that I alluded to the fact that the words that were received by Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri from his pastor, or the bishop, or the general overseer of his ministry, may have actually contributed largely to his being, and to also not only the production of this work, but perhaps the general outlook. Because a lot of you have also described the way and manner, justice, the character, and all other attributes therein in justice. Now, it is impressive for me, and those who share the same view with me, having read through this work, to state that the writer was able to identify some crucial features of success, such as self-reliance, patience, passion, integrity, connection, and optimism. Truly, this can be some attributes. There are some, okay? But however, he therefore went further to say that insights given by the author, okay, particularly say the insights given by the author is for me adequate. And it's about adequate. It's adequate to actually exemplify the purpose of this particular book. Because the reason behind his writing of this book, if you look at it critically, you will say that he has also actually had some insight. And the insights he has had is what has informed, particularly to put pen on paper. Now, all of these attributes that he captured in his work, as according to him, is enough to motivate, foster, and stir success in people who seem never to have continued their designed golden journey to achieve their projected goals. These are my words. Now, if you don't engage yourself seriously, even though you have had insights and you have not interrogated and think deeply and reflected deeply, and then put those your thoughts to practice, practically like he had done in writing this book. Therefore, all those your insights, or the insights you have had, cannot therefore be even seen, because it can actually go back with you to your creator. Now, it is therefore noteworthy that the book Insights for Success is said to have largely, in my opinion, demonstrated or depicts the true nature of success. However, for me, there is need for improvement, as indicated in the table I'm going to read out quite briefly. Now, there are issues in the book. The first issue identified is the publishing. Now, every material or book publishing should have an address of the publishing. And under my observation column, although the publishers are mentioned or listed, but the address, the physical address where the publishers are located cannot be found anywhere in the book. And I think that should be included. I have said that the location, town, or city, of course there is email contact, but then we need to locate the book. Because if somebody, for example, wants to cite this book, we will say publisher. Look, after quoting the author, we say the publisher, and then the community or town or location where the book was published. And I'm saying that when there is a review, we should insert in that city, whether it's in the ground or anywhere. Then I also observed some typographical errors. There are a number of them. But let me draw your attention to the acknowledgement. Although the acknowledgement, ordinarily, like you have done, you put it at the end of the work. But if you go to the acknowledgement, and if you take it from bottom up page, the acknowledgement is in this 73. Now, the word lessons, lesson, it spells it differently than lessons. And I think that is the typographical error. Because I know in other areas within that same page, it has got the right spelling. And my recommendation there is that adequate patience is therefore required for proper web checks. But there are some other ones that way, but I've already pointed this one. Okay, if you check from bottom up that page 73, and you count the numbers line 10 from bottom up, you will find what I'm talking about, the lessons. But it is actually lesson. So when you are doing review, you should look at that and correct it. Now, I also observe sentential structures. What do I mean by that? There are certain sentences, in my opinion, that are too lengthy. And you can observe that all through the chapters of the book. For instance, the author's note from line 2 to line 6, chapter 1, paragraph 1, from line 4 to line 9, paragraph 2 of chapter 1 from line 9 to line 14, and then etc. And I'm saying that when you're having the review of the book, if when you're doing some of the print, you should check that and reduce it. Now, analytical limitations. My colleague have made a lot of them because he took them chapter by chapter. But I want to say that analysis and examples are too standard in almost all the chapters. For instance, in chapter 13, says knowledge is power. Some instances of those who forsake knowledge and the outcomes therein should have been included. Also in chapter 2, it would have been better to show some visible hints about practical examples and simple processes as regards achieving set goals. My colleague has already alluded to that point. It is good, but it requires a book. As a good number of the pages, perhaps maybe it's the copy I had, or maybe in others, it will not be that way. But the copy that was handed to me, some of the pages are faintly presented. This is observed in chapter 2, page 1, chapter 11, page 2, chapter 15, page 2, chapter 16, page 1, and etc. And I'm suggesting therefore that when you are doing the print of the work or an edition, another edition, you should improve on the printing of it. Pages on chapter. What do I mean by this is that the number of pages that makes a chapter appear to, for me, a little bit too slim. For example, most of the chapters are very short. There are chapters of just 3 pages. There are also chapters of 2 pages. And there are even chapters of just a half page, and I call it a short page. I think that is also informed by the fact that the writer, has a lot of things to say. A lot of things to say. And as could have been demonstrated as I've rated by the young lady who is his friend. I would suggest that maybe after now, you also mentioned here that you will need to see her later. I believe that as God will permit, maybe we don't do matching, but perhaps maybe after now, the two of you can be properly matched. So therefore, you can actually take it off from that point. So, I have said, therefore, that you either merge 2 chapters or extend pages on those short chapters, or to make it, holistic and then to accommodate all of the issues my friend in academics has earlier enumerated. General comment. It is quite commendable that an undergraduate student could write a book of this nature. Now, don't be surprised, I said I don't know him before, but from the account of the book, I observed that the young man is, perhaps has already completed a program somewhere, certificate programs, and already is also running a degree program in agriculture in University of Africa, or African University, as the case may be, in my community. Now, from there, I draw the inference that the young man is an undergraduate student, and that for me, and those who share the same ideas with me, for me, is that it is quite commendable that an undergraduate student could write a book of this nature. However, for me, again, there is a need for improvement, given the shortcomings I have enumerated. There is therefore the need for improvement in terms of analysis, sentential structure, printing quality, etc. For me, on the side of commendations of public, I say we commend the effort of the young man, particularly they have done a good work. In summary, or in conclusion, I want to personally thank first the Vice Chancellor of this university, at the University of Africa. Why do I do so? I want to leave all the very, very critical and crucial things that the vice chancellor will be attending to. Because I'm just a director of an institute, and I could see the enormous responsibilities, even on Saturday and Sunday, that I have, and that he could prioritize this particular function, and they will came much earlier and sat quietly and attend the program through the end of the program, and therefore I want to commend you. I'm not commending you only for this, but for motivating your country to come and also help us do this business. I want to commend you. And you see, this commendation, the answer both from the Kenema and different places would have filled this form. But in spite of the fact that they are not here, we have achieved our purpose. Like Justice said earlier, it is not about the money that will come out, or the proceeds that will come out of this work or this effort. I wish to therefore commend the author. You can see I told you earlier that I started with Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri, but that I was going to conclude with the name differently. And as you could see, because just when you say Justice Ebiks, it will look as if where the justice, is referring to the fact that he's a judge of either a high court or somewhere. Place the name differently. Even though I'm not going to put it in the cover of the book, but I have decided to tell you that I commend the author, Ebiks Justice Lokpobiri, for this very noble assignment. Thank you for thanks immensely for the privilege given to me to do this job. God bless you.
Thank you, DJ, thank you. Please, a very big hand of applause for our reviewer for the points where he drew our attention to. I think Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri has truly done something quite phenomenal. That's the reason why we go straight to the business of the day. It's a book launch. So we head straight down into the launch proper. To hand over the microphone to the chairman of the day to be the first person to unveil the book Inside for Success. We don't read them. It's very nice book. Very nice book. You know say the chairman is a successful man. And you go follow our hand. I swear, it's our daddy. Yes, sir. Daddy, now you go lay the foundation. I swear. So that if you walk or raise, if na 5 naira will put daddy as sharp me, I no go put past you. I swear. That is the tradition as an Asian man. We put 10 naira, me will they follow because now you they lead us now. We put 10 naira, I put 5 naira. That's how it is. That is what being the head means. Oh, but justice don't try. Don't try. I remember when they tried to write book, I will write our counselor. But when you used to write book, Daddy, you try you, because I don't read your books very well. You try to write book. I don't write MCOT, I don't know. Even to title as MC Jones, I don't understand the title. But you know what they shock me past? Book when people don't know what you write, and then they complain past. The stories are too much, I don't know book. And so, all right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, it is my great pleasure to invite or to hand over the microphone to the chairman of the day. Daddy, let's see you go. Ushers, where are they? I swear. But before that, you go unveil now. We will hand over the microphone to the chairman of the day. He will tell us, Daddy, I greet you, Daddy. Your son is a bookworm. Yes. And let me tell you, Daddy, your son is following your footsteps. Because from your physical appearance, I'm seeing book. I know another thing. One time about doctors for that. So, MC Jones, you know it will be now. So that's now you got the microphone, go hit that deal. Ushers, all the ladies and gentlemen, you know your hands are not too busy. Please join me as I invite to the book
for the chairman to unveil. Put your hands together.
He go carry microphone give Daddy now. Daddy go tell us the amount we on carry unveil before Daddy go officially open up. Daddy, you to come now. Come. Carry your wife, come.
But Daddy, you need to witness your play. Everybody will tell you.
Is something that we hope will be passed on to many of you young people. And the second thing is, I just want you to know, as you understand, I'm from Tororo. It's an hour and a half from here, and I have another obligation early this evening. So after this part of the program, I wish to be excused, just so you know. I'm not going to be rude and just walk out. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we do the honors. I think you picked up from the bottom. We do the honors and formally launch this book, Insights for Success, by Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Insights for Success. I have to now unseal one of them personally. And in addition, arrangements will be made for further copies to be purchased for our university library. I'm a chairman of the occasion in training. I have not done this sort of thing before, so you might find that I perhaps omit certain steps, but I think for now, my bit is thank you all of you for supporting this event. And Justice, thank you for your contribution to making the world a better place. Thank you.
God bless you, sir. MC Jones, the father of the...
We started with ability support for the day. Thank God that today has become an official time for me to say what we can do. On that note, I happen to be a politician, and some of my political associates are also here. And even when they were not here actually, they sent one or two messages through one of our friends to be here. But as a father, I am hereby unveil the book with the sum of 100,000 naira.
Please put your hands together. God bless you, Daddy. And I know.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of me, myself, and my family and the company, we are launching the book with a sum of 100,000 naira.
Please put your hands together for Chief 100K. I mean, when they take their number, their account number, what are they to take? Take their account number, anybody who donate, they take, maybe they send out, Nana, they pour the money they put for this thing. God, he don't spend. He don't spend. Donation group, team, do the needful.
I'm going to do the needful, and I don't think I'm going to disappoint my student and the father of students. On behalf of the students, the entire students of University of Africa, I launched a copy with 10,000 naira.
Put your hands together for our daddy.
During our Sunday. Even though I'm here with my boss, the Vice Chancellor, on behalf of myself and my family, launched the book with 5 copies. Thank you.
5 copies. 3 times 5.
15,000.
Huh? 15 million.
The Faculty of Agriculture will launch the book with a sum of 10,000 naira.
Please put your hands together for our new PhD.
You know, I am the chaplain and also the assistant dean of students affairs. My Oga has spoken, so I will launch the book with an undisclosed amount. Justice, you know now. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Share one book. Oga will take 5. Oga will take 5. 3, 5. Come give and tell you, take your account number, maybe they fall down. Because the author don't spend plenty of money. Now, so, alright, please, it is time for the audience to unveil. I beg, if you know so you want to unveil, just give signal.
For them, please.
Put your hands together for members of the high table. Now, in order for the audience now to unveil. Audience, I don't know whether one person will for the audience now the obvious. Bishop, hey, God! Jesus! God, Daddy, please forgive us, pardon us.
Just see you, sir.
Daddy, I want my down.
Let them know you first.
I do that microphone, make you avail. It's not too late, I never.
I will, in my own small and not to 5,000 naira.
Please put your hands together for the amount of God in the house. Yes. And I so. Before I call, obviously they came all the way from their.
Put your hands together for our able president.
President!
So, the main person in front.
See your shoe, half a million.
Now, so.
Your face show. His shoe shine.
All right. Please permit me to stand in the already established protocol. I, as it may God knows, on behalf of the leadership of NOBS, UAT chapter, and the entire leadership and the entire members of the National Union of Bayelsa State Students, University of Africa chapter, will launch this book with 10,000 naira.
Please put your hands together for them.
Put your hands, Usher, follow our president.
And it shall be given unto you. Support. And when your time comes, they will support you too. Share the books. And the book they go. I want to call on my friend, the karaoke master. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I want to call one of the fast-growing and prominent musicians. I mean, welcome on stage.
Put hands together for him. If you don't know yourself, they clap, they shout.
They clap. You
can hear yourself. We got you for this house. Yeah.
Now you be my holy Bible. We do so, we just celebrate the way we say.
All right, we're back on the red carpet for the book launch, Insight for Success. And I've got here with me a young man. He's a model, and he goes by the name Kwanchi. Please, can you tell us your experience on working on this book launch?
Okay, my experience is mind-blowing because I didn't expect this, and though this is the second book I'm working with.
Okay.
My first book, which I was used on the cover of the book titled The Struggle, it's very popular in Niger Delta University, TNDU. So I was given a call, and they told me that Kwanchi would really like to work with you, and there's this project coming up. I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm the kind of model that I like to try everything, like to work with different professionals. And when I heard the call, I was so happy. I said, wow, I can't wait to work with you. So it's a privilege, and I'm so happy to be part of this huge success, this huge project that is going on now.
Okay, so what do you think about the book? How much impact do you think this book is going to have on society?
The book. Well, this is a huge book. It's something that it will enlighten the youth, like the reader and the author have said. It's a book that is going to pave way for young artists and everyone that's an idol to make them to be successful in life in whatever they are doing in all areas of achievement. It's a book that can develop them mentally and physically. So
Thank you very much, Kwanchi, for coming on the red carpet. Really do appreciate you. Okay. So glad to have you on the red carpet. Please, can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Justice Ebiks from Benin.
Okay.
This is Tracy the CEO, the managing director of O&T Royal Hotel, and Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Justice is my boy, just like my son. We came all the way from Benin because of Justice. We've been around since yesterday, and we thank God for what God has used him to do. And I pray that God will continue to give him more wisdom, and he will grow from grace to grace.
Okay, since this is his first book that he's writing, what do you think? What impact do you think this book is going to have on society, and do you see him writing more books in the future?
Of course. I know he's going to do more. I know this is just the beginning, and we are expecting more. In fact, he's on the way. We are expecting it very soon. The second book will be out by special grace.
Thank you very much for coming on the red carpet. Really do appreciate you. Okay, we've got a very, very interesting gentleman that's going to be joining me on the red carpet. A very good evening to you, sir. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, can we know you, sir?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Benson Duno.
Okay.
The Acting Dean, Student Affairs, University of Africa.
We're so pleased to have you on the red carpet. Okay, can you tell us, what do you think about the book, Insight for Success?
Yeah, from the analysis given by the book reviewers, though I've not read the book,
okay.
I think it's going to be a wonderful book. It's going to teach a lot of people so many lessons, and I think it will go a long way. And a lot of people will learn lessons, beautiful lessons, about the book.
Okay, after listening to the review of the book that was taken by two people inside there, and you being in the education sector, would you recommend this book to be part of our Nigerian curriculum so people can learn something from it? So, of course, we all are aspiring to become successful people in life.
Of course, the book could be a part of the education curriculum. And I'm a curriculum expert,
okay.
And I think it will be useful for the curriculum of conflict resolution in the Faculty of Education. And hopefully or thankfully, the VC has bought some copies for the University of Africa Library. And I think some copies will be bought by University of Niger Delta University, because the book reviewer is from Niger Delta University. And I think it will be a useful copy. It will be a useful book for education and other people who are into, conflict resolution or alternative dispute resolution.
Okay, being an educationist, I'd like you to give a word to people who will be listening to you out there. Being that the person who wrote this book, the author of the book, is an undergraduate, and he can come up with this. What's your words to the younger ones out there?
Of course, I have to advise the younger ones to take a cue from what Justice has done. I've written some books too, and I've also launched them, but not here in Yanangwa, but far away Benin. When I was doing my PhD, I've written some books and they were launched. So I advise the young ones to take a cue from there, to copy this, so that they become creative, they become innovative in writing. It takes, a very deep introspection for one to write a book. And if you're not creative, if you're not innovative, if you're not ideological, you won't be able to write a book. It is difficult putting ideas into book. Your own ideas into book. And I think the boy has done what is called phenomenal. A student, for that matter, to have put ideas, his own ideas, that can change a lot of people and will go very far in the world into book for people to read. Of course, we have a problem in Nigeria or in Africa, reading books, reading culture. Because they always say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it here, put it in writing. Because the black man will not read it. And for those who don't read, they are not better than those who cannot read at all, who don't know how to read. Because the reading culture is not there. So I joined students, especially my students from the University of Africa, to imbibe that reading culture. And if not, knowledge is a waste. No, knowledge is a waste. So if you can read very well, it will enhance their academic excellence and their creativity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming on the red carpet. Really do appreciate you. Okay, we've got another person right here with me on the red carpet. Okay, he's smiling so much at me. I don't know why. Please, can we know you, sir?
All right. My name is Pastor Ebiks Lokpobiri.
Okay.
I am Justice's. I'm a lecturer in the University of Africa.
Okay.
And also I'm the Assistant Dean of Students Affairs of the University of Africa.
So what do you think about the book Insight for Success?
All right. You see, in life, we must think about what to do to contribute to the development of society and those we meet in the society. And the book Insight for Success is a book that serves as a catalyst to re-engineering the mindset of the young ones that has become, distracted by some other frivolities, by the get-rich-quick mentalities and fashion and all that. Okay, and so the book, Insight for Success, takes the minds of young ones back to what society used to be like. Hard work, the virtues and the principles of hard work, integrity, patience, and all that. So it's a very good idea and very commendable and laudable.
Okay, being in the education sector, what advice do you have for the younger ones? Being that this person who wrote this book, the author of the book, is in the education, is a student, is an undergraduate. What's your word to the younger ones out there?
All right, writing is not an easy job to do. A man once said that if you want to hide anything from the black man, put it in writing. Okay. And he will not be able to see it because reading is not our culture. It is high time we went back to the culture of reading, okay, and writing. Of course, a man cannot write if he's not reading. Yeah. All right, so you are able to put down in writing what you've been able to assimilate or what you've been able to gather over the years. And so for my counsel for the young ones is that all these ephemeral things they are running after, money, fashion and all those things fade away. they don't last. What lasts is your intrinsic value, the development of your intrinsic value. What lasts is being able to discover your talent, nurture it, and harness it, and use it for the development of humanity. For Justice to have done this, they can also do it. It doesn't have two words. For him to have done this in this age of distraction, they can also sit down, look within, and see how they can differently contribute to society.
Thank you very much for coming on the red carpet. We really do appreciate you. All right, I'll be inviting next on the red carpet the father to the author of this book, Insight for Success. His name is Ebiks Lokpobiri. Very good to see you once again, sir. A very good afternoon to you. So tell us, what do you think about this book that your son has written?
Well, actually, like I said before, my name is Honorable Ebiks Lokpobiri. Well, on behalf of the Lokpobiri family today, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've seen an author like this. And today in Bayelsa State, if we can look at it very well, he may even be the youngest author today. Okay, and I don't know, I always, like when I was hearing his comment there, I saw tears in my eyes. And I can't define them, whether it's tears of joy or because I could not even understand. He has never failed me. We tried, despite the fact that he was a young man who lost his mother at the age of 2 or thereabout 2. The little support we have for him all the time, he did not disappoint us. He always worked hard to see that today the name of Lokpobiri, somebody has taken to another level again.
So what do you think about the book? How do you feel about this book, and what impact do you think that this book is going to have on society?
Yes, he has said it all before then. He said we have to change the narrative of our people, especially in the Niger Delta as well. Because if all of us can use our talent in this way, I don't think militancy and other social activities will not be rise to this level. I also want to use this opportunity to ask all of them to get a copy of this book and go into my head, because it's an inspirational book where people know that with this you can establish your own personal distinction.
Okay, obviously people have been finding it very difficult to bring up their children to become people like your son. So what's your advice to parents out there, especially fathers? What's your advice to them?
You see, like in our days, our parents were correcting us with a cane. And there was this birthday he celebrated where I was even the father of the day. And I advised them that in our time today, in the days of today, that cane doesn't speak well again. Today is an advice. For my life, I've never even slapped Justice's face. I've never even shouted at him. But because he was always doing the right thing. The highest I can do is to advise him. And he always take it and work it on his own. And today now, I just thank God that Justice can draw even the VC of his university down to his program. I appreciate and give all glory to God Almighty.
Okay, so tell us about how proud you are to have Justice as a son.
You see, I don't know. It's as if I've also contributed my quota by bringing up the name of Lokpobiri to a certain stage. Because in my knowledge, Justice has come up. And it come up in a way where something that we're going to be in the world. A book is something that doesn't end today. Even till he died, this book is still going to be in the markets. And everybody will say that it's from the Lokpobiri. And which angle? It's from the Ebiks Lokpobiri's knowledge. I'm so proud of him. And until tomorrow, we are grateful to God.
All right, that's been the father of the author, Justice Ebiks Lokpobiri. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on the red carpet.
More music on trendybeats.com.
Dangerous, ndege bam ziligas. Dangerous, akaka no tunza bas. Dangerous, ndege bam ziligas. Dangerous, akaka no tunza bas. Girl, you bounce, bounce.